So today's video is going to be about the evolution of the zine, right? So this is a limited series that I've been doing. Again, I'm Tim Sarantonio. I'm creating the nonprofit sector's first educational role-playing experience for leaders, their boards, and the communities that they serve, right? And so this needs to be as easy to pick up as possible. And we're going to end things with this series soon once I release the game into the wild. I have some ideas on where I can take up a new series, but this is important to kind of understand what and how I've built this, because this is for you. If you're a nonprofit leader, a board member, somebody who just cares about generosity, I want to build this in a way that you can pick it up and go. So we got some really cool things coming on the design side when it comes to the box itself, right? This is the entry for somebody who might host the game. But what about the players themselves? What about a person who is just kind of stumbling in? Maybe they're even at a conference. They see people around a table and they're like, what is this? I know nothing about this. And after working with Ben Williams and Julia Campbell on our live playtest session, Julia did something that made me think, hey, I think there's a different way to think about how to empower people. So when Julia was getting ready to play the game, she was very worried about not doing the quote-unquote homework to get ready. And that was a really interesting insight. So what we ended up doing was she sent a full character sheet. And I said to myself, well, how can I make things a little bit easier? So I went back and I created this zine, How to Create a Character. Now, when you're talking about zines, I actually have some old ones. This is something that my friend Craig created for his friend Jody, who passed away, right? This is very old. I've had this for almost 20 years. And so when I said, hey, I'm going to make my own version of that, that's kind of who I was thinking about. It's this very easy to print, very easy to put together once you figure things out. And so what I'm doing is even going through the notes, and I can talk about the process for how I created this. But ultimately, the purpose is to fill this character sheet out. And so people can do reflections. And then we get into the actual structure of the Generosity Roundtable itself. So I want to talk about this because it's kind of emblematic to the deeper psychological points I'm trying to make with the game. So ultimately, everything has a tie or connection to philanthropic psychology. So the story keeper, the symbolist, these are connected to the larger ways that people make decisions around generosity. If you've taken the generosity archetype quiz, you may have already been assigned one of these. So I wanted to kind of make this a lot more visually interesting. Being inspired by Stolen Sharpie Revolution, as you can see, there's kind of a lot of like different ways that you can make zines pop, right? So there's a lot of artistic, interesting merit when you want to design something interesting. So even within here, I took my old work ties and then I ended up transferring them right in here. So you can even see there's the story keeper, there's the symbolist. All I did was grayscale this. Putting the zine together itself was interesting. I have a Canva file that I've been using, as well as getting something like this Boss Stitch long arm printer, kind of figuring that out. That's what this stuff, my desk is an absolute mess right now. But generally, for in-house production, all I need is paper. I'm using a 65-pound paper. It's got a little bit more depth and heft to it, right? John Lepp is helping me think about things here with his amazing book, Creative Deviations. And generally, I also think I'm going to give people a Sharpie if they actually want to write in here, write on even the box that they get for the game. And there's just some really interesting ways that we can go about it. So another thing that's also influencing me here is the rise of zines in tabletop roleplay culture. So this is a creator, J.P. Couvert. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I just kind of stumbled upon his stuff, like trying to figure out how to make my own zines. And I realized there's an entire world of zine creation culture happening just for people who want to make new games. So the next zine I'm going to be working on is a scenario planner. These are the things that the hosts can run people through. If we want to think about it like a gaming system, right? Because that's ultimately what I am creating here is a game system. I'm not a consultant. I don't want to be doing consulting. I'm not a technology company. I don't want to create a technology thing, but I am making a product. And so what is something that somebody can hold, do something with? That's where this comes into play. This is almost like your character that can go to different games. You can physically take this. You can bring this to another person's game. If you're at a conference, you see people playing around the table. You can take this and immediately know what's going on. You have a shared language. The moment you see this logo, this thing, those cards, you know that they get it. But the scenario planner is where the learning is going to happen, because we can create on a simple basis, because that's what JP's doing. Is somebody wants this, somebody orders it online, they get it a few days later. Why can't we have a learning network where these scenarios are sent out on a monthly basis, driven by you? What do we want to talk about? What do we want to learn about? What do we want to put in here? Do we want art? Do we want your art, your culture, your language, as it relates to how the Generosity Roundtable works? So now I'm getting a little bit, out there, but this is how I think about the world. And just want to get this up before I'm going out on vacation for the next week. And then we are just going to go time. So a lot more to come. Got a lot of big announcements, but this is a really critical evolution in what the Generosity Roundtable is. Thanks for watching today.